Oh.
All right, everybody, welcome in to Real Talk with Spoon and Pudding. Episode, who knows?
72, I believe.
That's what you're claiming. It's more like 83 and a
whatever.
quarter.
Who knows? Don't give a shit.
Primary purpose of this podcast is to educate and share our thoughts and opinions. When we have proven evidence on a topic, it will be brought forth. This podcast does not constitute advice or services to anyone. Spoon and Pudding do not accept any responsibility or liability for anyone, our guests, or anyone's comments or actions based on the material we talk about on our podcast. This podcast is for private, non-commercial use, and everyone should ascertain that the information we provide is correct and verified at all times. There shall be no adding to, editing, or reproduction of this podcast without prior written permission from Spoon and Pudding. You can reach us at realtalkwithspoonandpudding@gmail.com. What's up, Pudding?
No, not much. We was going to have Red on, but I guess since you're in a hurry, I'm going to make it quick. And we've been skipping off on the local topics, and last week we couldn't coordinate, but good time. So we'll just do a quick local discussion. So after you watch your meeting, you go ahead and tell everyone your thoughts on the meetings that you watched.
Which one? Well, the first.
Well, the last one. Hey, guess what, everybody? You're getting to pay more taxes.
Yeah. The last meeting, they finally had the second reading to raise the property and land taxes. You know, when we was going through this whole ordeal last year with the mayor race and stuff, you know, we was on here. I was telling you that your water and sewer rates were going to go up, and your property and land taxes were going to go up, and everything that I told you has ding, 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 ding. It's happening, you know. They're gonna continue their wasteful spending.
There have been zero retractions in spending. Nobody's backing off the spending. The gas pedal is just increasingly going down. At this point, if they would just stop spending, the car is still accelerating. You know, there's no brake pumping with the city of Portland. The local issue that I want to talk about, and I've mentioned it here before, some person had a pretty good topic that caught fire and hit Portland about the speed zones on the south side of the city.
Yeah.
And on Monday, you go ahead with your local meeting. Let me look this. I want to get the exact time so I can share my thought and opinion on this.
Well, on the first meeting, there really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. It was pretty. I guess things you can talk about. They got the new fire engine in, so I guess that's good and bad. Bad because it costs you a lot of money, but good that they got something useful and be helpful for not only them but the residents of Portland. This last meeting.
Where'd you go?
Oh,
You
I was
there?
looking at the comments. I seen something pop up, but anyway,
Yes, Mr. Red, Portland politics.
if you look at that section of Highway 52 out in front of Dairy Queen and where they want to put Waffle House and KFC, you know, they're going to upgrade that line, and it's going to cost us more money. Which it needs to be done, but they're going to push that issue because a few reasons, in my opinion, because of who owns that land, who's selling the land to Waffle House and them, and because they like spending money, you know. But here's
it's not that they like spending money. They like to tell everybody how much they're improving when the improvements definitely do not justify the amount of spending that's going on.
Well, another thing that bothers me about that is, and if I've looked at the books for a few years, I don't have it all in front of me, but we've done podcasts where I've shown the budget and talked about how much we spend. We have a engineer on payroll that makes well over $100,000. but we spend 4, 5, 6 million, sometimes more a year on outside engineers on projects. And Mike Hall asked a good question in this last meeting. He said, why are we spending $65,000 on an engineer on this little section of water line and stuff on Highway 52 there where, Waffle House and whoever else wants to go in that needs to be improved, just to do paperwork, He said it seems kind of ridiculous. And there was no justification behind it. Your controlling dictator mayor just pretty much said, well, that's just part of it. That's the cost of doing it. Why do we have an engineer on payroll that makes 6 figures, that works from home most of the time, and then gets up in these meetings when they bring him there and talks for an hour and a half on certain issues and pretty much runs things behind the scenes? If we're going to spend $4, $5, $6+ million on outside engineers on our projects, if he's not a good enough engineer to use him for these projects, go out and find you a good engineer and stop wasting our freaking money. You could go out and get you 4 good engineers and pay them all, say $250,000. That's $1 million a year. Cut loose the clown you got right now and save yourself $4 or $5 million a year instead of paying outside engineers on all these projects.
Well, I found the receipt. So we were in town Monday, the 18th, we were at Advance Auto Parts. Let's see the exact time, because they emailed me the receipt. So it was 2:14 p.m. and we left Advance Auto Parts in town, and we were heading home. So maybe roughly 2:20. And when we got to the south side, after we left the city limits coming south, there was a car had hit a deer. Now, the car struck the deer in between where the Portland PD sit and radar right over the crest of that hill. Portland PD sit there and radar all the time. The city limit sign is about almost a mile behind there. Okay. So they're radaring people in the county heading north towards the city limit. So Portland police sit there and they radar people going north. They're not in the city limits. They're in the county. Now, county sheriffs want to sit there. Well, sheriff want to sit there. Hey, they're in jurisdiction. I think PD are,
they're still pulling them over.
They're pulling them over. Yes, they are. I've watched them pull them over multiple times. And I've thought about going back and sticking a camera in his face and saying, how's this legal? Because what I witnessed on the 18th was a car wreck between where they sit and between the city limit sign. Not one Portland PD car was on scene. Not one. There were 2 sheriffs and 2 state troopers there. There was a fire truck, which could have easily been the volunteer fire truck from over there by J.B. Wiseman. That's where they sit. So you could have had that could have been that fire truck and an ambulance. Not one city official in that zone helping assist an injured person or, working on the accident. So you're not wasting taxpayer dollars, but you're trying to revenue generate in that area. Get your ass out of the county and get back, because the people on there, the bootlickers on Hit Portland, who don't understand this, oh, well, I'm glad they're slowing people. They're not in the city limits. There's nothing there. It's nothing. It's field. It's field and forest. He could easily sit over there at the golf course and radar, do the same thing. Then he's inside of the city limits. However, he'll be seen, and most people will slow down before they cross the city limit. So it's not a good revenue generating spot. And I say the city of Portland is culpable if somebody gets hurt in that region, because they act like they're patrolling it. You're patrolling it. It's not yours.
I find it comical that the story you just told, that they're pulling people over at radar and outside the city limits in the county. But they didn't go assist the car wreck that was right outside the city limits, but yet they'll go across into Robertson County that the city annexed over there on Vaughn Parkway and stuff, and send EMS and fire and police over there. But your Pele friend used to talk about them pulling people over in Kentucky all the time. Well, yeah, if they catch them before they go over, I can understand that. But what I'm saying is they wouldn't go a half mile outside the city limits there to assist the wreck, but they'll go in a different county that we generate no tax revenue from and supply police, fire, EMS,
water, sewer,
and waste our money.
Well, that's because the the people who own the land, just like you were saying earlier about 52. People that own the land. People that own the land could just, I mean, you might as well just call this Collins land. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, seems like the city directs all its resources towards one specific family.
Well, no, it's not one. You know,
now there's a few, but I mean, I'm saying the land up there where we're talking about, where in Robertson County up there, where the Vaughn, all that land was sold by, the boss hog of this place. The land you're talking about where Waffle House is coming in. It was, and again, like I said on the podcast before, why didn't you reach out to Huddle House? I mean, there's Waffle Houses all around. Why not put a Huddle House in the middle of them? That'd be a great spot. Huddle House might be for it. They like competition. Then you're bringing people from White House, Franklin, and Gallatin into here because they want a Huddle House. Just like I've always said, well, why would you want to put up some chicken joint when I put up a church chicken joint nobody has in the area? But the city, the people that run Portland have no foresight. They don't have any.
Well, I laugh at it because you got the good old boys club that nobody says they're a part of, right? And I can sit here and list a bunch of names, but I've done it before. But the thing that makes me the maddest, this whole town is fake. The whole town. All right, we get on here and most of the money people hate us, and that's fine. I don't care. I don't mind being hated. That's fine.
I told the truth.
But you don't know how many people that I have conversations with on the phone or in person or in groups. They feel the same way that I do. They say the same things I do. But they won't do it in a public setting, right? If you call them out in front of other people saying, hey, remember when you said this and you agreed with this and you said this was been going on for a long time? They shut down like, how dare you call me out? I didn't say anything like that. Because they're fake. They're scared. Like, what are you scared of? All right. This city's never going to grow. It's never going to see its
You're never going to turn it around if you're not telling your representatives and the mayor that you don't give a damn about the people with the big pockets. You want a better town. In the end, that's what it needs to be. And as many times as we've fledglingly fought to talk about fluoride, we never get it there. So, I mean, there's so many things, and that's just a small one. That's small. That's minor. We can't even get an olive branch from the city council on fluoride. So there's, they don't want an olive branch, we'll go to war with you. Just like I say, revenue collection, speed traps, another hidden tax. And I say the city shouldn't be collecting revenue outside their jurisdiction if they're not going to present assistance outside of your jurisdiction.
Well, it's pretty bad that you annexed outside the county, or
you go into a whole nother county.
In a whole nother county where you don't gain any tax revenue from. Yeah, you could pull cars over there, but if there's a fire or a water main break or anything, we have to send extra resources and spend extra money that we already maintain, and we get no kickback, right? But you can't go a half mile up and assist a wreck, No,
you can't. No. I was hoping I wanted to be back, more like I was thinking to myself, maybe we could do something Friday, but I didn't. I wanted to call the Sumner County Sheriff because I had the time or an estimated time. It'd be great to call him on the phone one day during the week and get the Sumner County Sheriff on the phone and say, inquiring about an accident at this time and location, and I want y'all to ask me why the city of Portland didn't come and assist the accident. Why were y'all dispatched? Why was the state troopers dispatched? Because Portland generates revenue in that same damn location. They're, picking people's pockets, but they don't.
I think if you ever got Sonny on the phone, he would have a discussion with you about anything.
No, I mean, well, I'm sure he would. I mean, I'm saying I was going to see if I could get like their press release person or something, try to hit them on the line, just spontaneous. Be nice if we could figure out. Could you imagine if we could be dangerous if we could get that on the. So it'd be live coming through the computer, or we'd be talking to them both. Like, yeah, we're calling you live on there. And we were trying to get a comment.
Yeah. I don't know if you did that, but yeah, I don't know what to tell people. I had a conversation with I felt like a good buddy yesterday or day before, and the the mayor might be the greatest guy personally, but it's all about
No, he's a
control.
snake in the grass.
Well, he is, but it's
I
all
seen
about
it.
control.
I seen it. I seen it. I seen
Uh,
it. In your face, he acts like he cares so much about you, but then he gets behind you and he's like, "I'll never do nothing for that son of a bitch. He's trying to call me out." Yeah, I called you out.
And this
At least I
council,
will.
yeah, and this council, we all know what went down with Mr. Dillard, but the reason they really wanted to get rid of him was because he didn't play ball with them. He didn't line up in their duck pattern,
Yeah,
And
he didn't line up with the. Well, he
and
was.
we seen who took his spot. That's the biggest waste of a council seat I've ever seen. She may be the nice, sweetest lady.
I don't care.
But what does she do?
I won't.
What
where's
input do
the
you get?
results? To Portlanders, where's your results? That in the end, that's what I want to ask you. Where's your results?
If
They're nice people, but what's your results? You got a Waffle House. There's 3 of them around you. They're doing you a great job. You have $5 generals. Hey, how wonderful your city council is.
If she runs again next year and retains her seat,
I'll be surprised.
Oh,
the people who pay attention won't vote for it, I'm sure, but that's not.
But here's the problem. How many are paying attention? Out of that board, I like a lot. I like Brian. Do I like? All I'm saying is outside there, I know how he grew up.
Did you ask Brian since he's over the water department? Did you ask him about the fluoride? Have you ever asked him? I tried to message him. He replied to you.
I sent him all the stuff and asked him to share it with the council and expect for him to get back to me.
Well, he ain't going to reply. He won't reply to me. That's for damn sure.
Well, that's because you're
not his constituent. I'm not as well. All right, go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, like Jody, I've known Jody my whole life. I like him. I think he does a decent job a lot of times. I think Brian does a decent job a lot of times. Mike Hall, he's back and forth. He's more, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, more not than is. I like Penny. I think she's there for the right reasons. I'm skeptical about Drew. I think he's a nice guy.
Where's his main source of income come from? Who's he work for? Who's he rubbing elbows with?
Yeah, I understand that.
All I need. He needs to go. The other 3 need to go. What was the one that took Dillard's seat?
You're not Letitia or whatever her name is.
Yeah. She was going to work with you until the others pulled her into the smoke-filled room and said, "Play ball, we'll get you on here. We're getting rid of Dillard. Don't worry."
It's funny because she's a Democrat. All the rest of them claim to be Republicans, but the chamber and them pulled her in and backed her to try to help her get in there. What do you think they did that for? Because she's easily manipulated to line her ducks up with them and go with the. Hey, that's fine. That's how you want to be.
Dillard, he sent us the stuff on his neighbor there. I didn't realize discharging a weapon, drug crimes, and everything was.
Oh,
was it time served? Was it time served? Mr. Neck Tattoo got off of.
Hey, we're going to do a whole different one on that when we get all the audio and stuff because.
Oh, when you get the audio, is Dillard going to come on for that one?
I don't know if he can, but we'll see.
Well, he might as well. Everybody, the people who in town who knew he was at least trying to listen to the people,
because they thought,
I wish he was still there.
Look at the racist Mr. Dillard, and he's being offensive to this fine, upstanding citizen that lives next door. Y'all don't have any idea. But what I was going to say about the council is, you're not going to like me saying this, and that's fine, but. In the last several months, 6 months, a year, whatever you want to say, out of all of them up there, the one that I think is doing the best job, and is, in my opinion, has turned around my opinion of why they're there, is Megan. I think I can see from the meetings and the people that I talk to that she's been working a lot harder. She's been studying a lot of these things. She's been giving her input. She's trying to help other people. So
I get it. I see that's the difference. See, I've always, I know I've joked to you about this, where when women hate somebody, they hate them for life. There's no reconciliation. Men are different. Men understand and have a way to, a lot of times, to just let water go under the damn bridge. you know, and can reconcile and talk. But you don't, like Obama said, you don't make friends with your friends. You make friends with your enemies. You know, you'll sit down, you have a conversation, and I'll talk and reconcile with anybody. I mean, I didn't always see eye to eye with Jody, but I talked to him. I mean, he's a fine guy. He's all right. I don't care. I just want somebody to listen. And, like I said, you can talk about Megan. I'm not a constituent, so I only say it outside here. I know where the family ties are going to lie, but if you look at the Vanderbilts and stuff, 3 generations and it's gone. You're going to piss the money away unless you're one of them real special people that really understand how to hang on to it.
Well, luckily I don't have any enemies myself. Now, there may be people that don't like me for the things I say, and they're my enemy. But me, myself, I don't have any enemies. I don't hate anybody. I love everybody. We can agree to disagree. We can sit and have these conversations. We can sit and have these debates. That's good for our country. That's good for our city.
But the thing is, in the theater of ideas, that's what debate is. You sit down, and the best ideas should win out, or the best solution to the problem is what should win out, not the person with the deepest pockets or the deepest political connections. They're not the ones that should win out.
We got we got a lot of comments on Facebook.
Well, I'm not on there.
Your buddy Josh is on there. He says, you can't convince me she's up there for any other thing than helping her family jump through hoops.
Well, you got real quiet, Spoon. I don't know what you did.
Can you hear me?
He's got real quiet.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little better, but it's still quiet. Your audio's. I don't know what you did. When you leaned over to read the comments on.
What about now?
Facing. You're still saying. I don't know. You did something.
What about now?
Well, I guess we'll have to deal with it. We're going to work through it.
You can't hear me?
Well, no. I mean, look, there's. Speaking of family, real quick.
Josh,
did you want to get into your sister?
No. I don't want to get into that.
You can't see it. I got rid of her. She tried to tag your dad on our page, and I was like, no, this is going to stop. We're going to end this. Somebody's got to have the common sense to.
She tried to tag him on our page.
On Spoon and Pudding, yes.
For what?
Because I was logged out. I just logged in, and it said they were asking to approve things.
Yeah.
And your audio is still shit, man.
No, everybody else says they can hear me fine, so it's only on your end.
Only on my end?
Yeah. So maybe that's your problem.
Oh,
but anyway,
okay.
What was she trying to tag him in?
Oh, something, and she had all these a bunch of pictures, just schizophrenic BS. To Mr. Spoon's dad, if you own a business and someone walks into your business with an application and an identical record as your daughter, and you would not hire them, you should not feel guilty by getting rid of that problem. That's all I can say. If you wouldn't hire a human being because of an identical track record as somebody who's just trying to blast you on Facebook on a page for no, just and tag your dad in it,
Oh, she was trying to blast me.
Well, it was a thing about family and blood means nothing and all this kind of stuff with a whole bunch of stupid pictures that was just lined up from her on Spoon and Pudding. Okay. I had to log in because we were logged out here. So what the hell? But Spoon's sister was trying to tag your daddy and blast you on our page with all this family means nothing nonsense and this drama that needs to end, but someone can't realize there's a problem. So I was like, all right, block, boom, bye, gone.
Well, since he's went there, to give y'all a little backstory, I don't have anything to do with my sister because how she is. She's got mental problems, and beyond that, she's just crazy. That's not mental. Like, she's out there. She's been in all kinds of trouble. She does all kinds of stuff, but she attacks.
Josh brought up family and Megan, and I was like, okay, this is a good segue. Let's just.
Right.
I wanted to slide it in because I just noticed it, and I just hit the post that she was trying to.
But she attacks me and my family, and it's my job to protect my family, my immediate family, children, and all from that stuff. So
you want me to get you a mic and you want to get your computer and log in?
So anyway, I don't have anything to do with her. I'm separate from her. She don't like it. You know, she makes piss poor decisions over and over and over and over and over. And then she thinks that everything that I own or my father owns, that it belongs to her. And if not, we're bad people. So I'm sure you know somebody like that. You know, it's not my fault that people.
I'm not just saying your dad. I'm saying anyone.
Yes.
Anyone watching this, if you have a family member that you, as a businessman, if they were not related to you, you absolutely would not hire them. But you still interact, still give, still are so charitable. You are empowering them to continue on that shit person road. That's all there is to it.
But her trying to attack me on Facebook and tag my dad, that's not surprising. I'm not going to tell the people of the whole text thread, but you ought to see the text threads and message thread that she sent to me.
She's apparently connected with the other realm.
Yeah, I'm a MFer and I'm an MFer bitch, and it it's
which reminds me of my Ouija board joke, Mr. Spoon.
she's gonna destroy. Let me get to that. She's gonna destroy me and my family. And my mama's been dead from suicide for 23 years now. So apparently she talks to my dad and mother, and my dad and mother says I'm bad, and she's praying for my soul. You know, and you know it's so far out there that it's comical in a sense, and then it's not in a sense. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you, I love my sister to death. So it's a hard situation when you.
I understand it's a hard situation, but empowering is continuing the problem. Nobody's going to rectify in 180. Why would you 180 if somebody's, keeping you propped up? It's just like this economy. It can't 180 because the Fed has been right now. They're pulling the money out and things are changing. But as long as you're continuing to pump the money in this economy, inflation is going to continue to steam ahead.
I ain't got but a few more minutes. So if we want to get into your Ouija board comment.
I'm not getting no, we'll hold
go ahead. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. Let people laugh a little bit before we go off.
Okay, so I was telling you, and you want me to go ahead, and I was telling you that the comment between you and Miss Spoon was fine. I would get out of here and blah 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 with getting rid of it because I care about you, Spoon, and I want you to be happy. And what it takes is me exiting and then you not having a zoo inside your house. Well, that's fine. We're good with that. I'm good with that. That was a good. Then we joked and you said, well, if you really care about me, you'll give me a working gun and one good bullet. And I said, well, just make sure you call me so that I can get the Ouija board out and some candles lit so that, your spirit can pass through and tell me what's the light at the other end of the tunnel. And then I said, I'm going to freak out if you say it burns, it burns.
It's hot out here. And my mama's going to be going, you're a bad boy. I've been praying for your soul.
I'm up here with the Mormons, you piece of shit. You followed the wrong religion. Oh my God!
Thank goodness I'm going to church this morning.
Yeah, go get some blessings on your soul, man.
I need it.
We had some good ones on that one. That was kind of funny though. But no, we don't. I don't know. I never understood the people that are suicidal. You're going to die one day. Just give it time. Hey, it's coming.
You got to look at it like this. Let's put everybody in a depressing mood. Every breath you take and every minute pass by, you're one breath and 1 minute closer to death, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
No reason to speed it up.
Right now is the youngest you're ever going to be in your life ever.
Yep. How do we sit down and reconcile with people and move forward in a positive, good way? That's all there is to the world. But at this point,
you show love, you show compassion, you show understanding, you show forgiveness. But that doesn't mean you tolerate.
Tough love is a great one because it's
you love, you can understand, you can show empathy, compassion, and understanding and forgiveness. but that does not mean you have to tolerate the same
I
chaotic,
mean, you have to keep
destructive
shelling out
behavior.
money, like, just no reason to. You gotta, tighten up the ship and make your own world good.
As
But that's
as Julie Chen says, love one another.
well. On that note, I guess we'll let you get off to, baptizing your little soul. Right?
That's right.
You ready?
That's right.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll catch y'all next week. Sorry we missed last week.